I was on the phone with one of my buddies yesterday.
Who has elite quarterbacks, Ryan?
You're right.
Who has
You're
elite
right. But at
quarterbacks?
least, like, listen. Put it this way: if Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers come out and blow the doors off of whoever they're playing tomorrow, it wouldn't be next week. It wouldn't be like a crazy surprise. It very well might be over. It very well. I'm not doubting that at all.
We are officially at the point where there's a transition of
sure,
the old guard
Without
needs to be put away. They crushed it, they killed it. But if the Bucks go which is very possible, 6 and 11, or
it's not
8
good.
and 9, and or 7 and whatever.
If that's the
10?
case, and Brady walks off into the sunset after,
no disrespect
it does
to the
nothing
guy.
to his legacy.
No.
But
What
what I'm saying is, I feel like a lot of people are on Detroit because they score a lot of points. It's like, dude, they have Jared Goff as their fucking quarterback and Dan Campbell as a head coach.
The defense is strong, and they're in every game. They just literally fall apart by the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but they do the same thing every game, though. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand. I was reading something recently, or I heard someone say in a podcast, I don't understand how going for it on fourth down, which it seems like so many teams go for it now on fourth down, and you don't get it. I don't understand why that's not considered a turnover. That you're legitimately turning the ball over on downs, but they don't rule it as a fumble or an interception or as a turnover.
No, it wouldn't be if you're on
Who would it go on?
If you're on the 40 and you're going for
a team turnover,
you're on the opposing 40 and it's 4th and 1, and you're at the 38. Would you punt? Would you go for a long field?
I'm not justifying any of that stuff. I'm saying they don't rule it as a turnover.
Because the turnover, it's just a stat. It doesn't mean anything specific, but turnover means
I think when you're gambling, I think it's maybe the most important thing. Because if you're turning the ball over, how are you
different than
those are possessions in the game?
No, but that's drastically different than a fumble interception. Which sure,
I mean, it's almost the same as a fumble.
Yep, you're giving the ball
it's not
away.
even close to the same as a fumble. When
you see the recklessness of some of these fucking teams going for it,
who had turnover?
Detroit goes for it constantly on fourth down, and they have shitty fucking fourth down results. I'm like, I don't see why that's a fucking I don't see why that's not ruled a turnover.
Yeah.
I think it was the Colts this weekend I was watching and had 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
How many interceptions did
2, I think.
2? Were there any fumbles? But that's still, what point being is that's a different, if you read that as a statistic thinking this offense is turning over the football, that's drastically different than not converting on fourth down.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're right. It's more of a coach's turnover, but it's still a turnover.
It's maybe a factor or a statistic that should be highlighted, but conflating it with a
dramatic, massively highlighted.
For sure, but it's not a turnover. A turnover insinuates that the offense is
yeah, but when you see the amount of teams that'll leave, right now in the NFL, the amount of teams that'll leaving points on the board when they're already in field goal range going for it on fourth down, that is true. Through the roof.
It's not leaving points on the board though, because it absolutely is. It's not guaranteed that you're getting those points. There's a chance.
Sure, you're
these
right.
kickers
you're
are missing freaking extra points. You want to hit from 52.
You're right. It's not a guarantee, but it's you see a lot of these teams going for it, and it's unfucking believable. It to me, it blows my mind.
Yeah, it's all the analytics nerds that are in there.
It absolutely
because they hire fucking dorks who never played sports.
But it's I feel like it's bad towards the analytics.
This is what
I feel like
this is what the numbers say.
It definitely is. It's definitely numbers.
But I think it's also
definitely numbers.
Teams, coaches have been less orthodox with the orthodox being that you would punt if you're on the 45 I think there's more chance.
There's a time and a place for it, without a doubt.
I think momentum and the idea, the Eagles crazy for they're 8 and 12 or better percentage on fourth down conversions. If you're able to prove success with it, you can really push and you can play it into the third down game with the other team. You can scheming.
Totally.
It opens up these guys they're going to go for it. There's a 2-down play on 3rd and 5.
Without a doubt. But it was did you guys watch the fucking Pittsburgh Miami game the other night, the Thursday night game?
No.
It was. No. I mean, dude. First of all, Tua throws probably 5 or 6 passes that just should have been intercepted, and they were dropped. I've never seen anyone in my life throw as many interceptions that don't get intercepted in my life than Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, dude, I could not fucking believe it. Dude, that game shouldn't have even been fucking close. Should not have been close, but fucking this Mike McDaniel on Miami just keeps going for it on fourth down, Tomlin's not going for it on fourth down. Tomlin knows he got a rookie quarterback. He's just going to take that game shouldn't have even been close. It comes down to the last fucking second of the game.
Pickett had 3 interceptions.
It doesn't even fucking but he's not. But the point is, Tomlin's not going to go for it on fourth down with this kid.
For sure. I mean,
Tua didn't have 3 interceptions, but he should have if Pittsburgh holds on to. He could have had 4 interceptions in that game, easy.
How did he look coming back from the concussion?
I don't know.
saw a video of like one of the first rushes he had. He had on collision.
Yeah.
He didn't even slide. He just fell into it head
he's
first.
not. I'll tell you what. He's not afraid. I watched the interview they had with him on ESPN and shit. It's like he went out there and the first drive of the game, he went right down, scored a touchdown, like fucking like a 4-minute drive.
Talking about modifying his play, but
he has to.
I guess that went out.
He has to.
Well, that's the video, the clip I saw of him, like him saying, "I'm gonna, avoid."
He has to, or he won't last. He will not last.
Yeah.
But Dolphins, were you impressed? You think they're like a serious?
No, I wasn't impressed at all.
They got talent. They got Tyreek Hill. They got Waddle. Their defense, I guess, is whatever. But
it's the coaching, dude. The way some of these teams are going for it on fourth down to me is like borderline reckless. It is.
I love the traditional. I love the Bill Belichick in you. That's just
it's not even because I watch it. It's like, listen, Belichick had an atrocious game this week. We could talk about that afterwards, but it's like. Look at Pete Carroll, for example. It's like, dude, Belichick. I look at Belichick and Carroll because or Andy Reid, for example. I think those are three guys. If their career ended last year, Hall of Famers, no fucking doubt. All three of those guys. Yeah. They're not in. Belichick will go for it on fourth down, but he's going to do it when it's like inappropriate. You're not going to really question fourth down calls. Some of these teams going for it on fourth, like Brendan Staley for the Chargers. It's like Justin Herbert is a fucking animal. His coach is a moron. I'm like just constantly going for it on. I'm like, what is wrong with 3 points? We watch these games. We're paying attention to a game. How many of these games are coming down to 1 or 2 point games? Like, what the fuck happened to field goals, dude? Yeah. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
You need to get in the fucking coaching clubhouse and start.
I can't tell someone to do anything it's not even so much that. It's just I think the analytics thing has gotten so out of control.
Did the Chargers not carry their kicker off on their shoulders last week on a bum leg?
Yes. I mean, it's just like I don't know.
What happened to your Patriots? I didn't get to watch this game.
It was
either,
brutal. I mean, it seems like
the Pats were favored by a couple points.
Name they Bailey.
They were Bailey Zappi.
They just ran all over you.
They should have not. First of all, the Patriots should not be favored 8.5 points over any team in the league.
It was 8.5.
8.5.
Fuck.
They should not be favored 8.5 points over any team.
Did they just run all over you? Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't control Justin Fields. The defense was atrocious. You know what I mean? The offense, it was like, it seemed like it was a weird. They started Mac Jones, then Zappi came in. And
when did Zappi come in the second quarter?
The fourth drive.
Okay. Yeah, probably around
the end of the first quarter, the beginning of the second
quarter. The Bears
quarter.
running game, they got Montgomery and Herbert, and they just share, touches, and they both rush for 60 yards.
Herbert killed them.
They're able to rotate those. That was, I don't know what game it was, but they were playing, and they were trying to. I think it was the second game of the season. Who they play? It was whoever, but they were just rushing and rushing. They weren't, and it just takes so much. Game time and
without
so much.
They killed him in time of possession. That game, they murdered him. But but Fields, it was like, dude, I was shitting on Justin Fields. He just doesn't. He didn't impress me. That was the first time he impressed me as a professional player. They just couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
There was 3rd and longs. They were sacking him. Like Fields took some bad sacks in that game. There was 2 in particular. It got back to like 3rd and 20, and they converted both of them. It's like, you're not. And then on top of that, the Patriots turned the ball over 4 times. It's like, you're not gonna. You give up that many rushing yards, lose a time of possession like that, and turn the ball over 4 times, you have a 0% chance of winning. Came out, went 3 and out, and then threw a pretty bad interception, and then they brought Zappi, and Zappi came in
with an injury, or what?
He came in. He was questionable. I mean, who knows?
Situation?
Yeah, okay. High ankle. Came in. Zappi goes down. They score 14 points immediately. The first 2 drives. And then after that, nothing. Special teams was atrocious. Yeah. Coaching was atrocious. Everything was.
Where do you see the Patriots season going this year?
I don't know. I mean, like they're 3-4 right now. Yeah. And the division's tough. It's like they got the Jets this week in New Jersey. It's like that's not going to be an easy game. I'm not sold on the Jets. I don't. But by the way, I think it sucks that Breece Hall, the running back he's done for the year. That kid was and meniscus. That's a double, dude. That's rough.
Yeah.
But it's like you see it. It's like the Jets are 2 games up on the Patriots in the division right now. It's like those fans are. That's going to be such a tough atmosphere to play in, just on the fact that it's like those fans are so hungry to like attack the Patriots. You know what I mean? It's going to be a difficult game. So.
It's definitely going to be hostile territory.
That always is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're going
to that game.
I am going
to that game. You're going to get absolutely obliterated.
That's right. My sober October is finito for me.
On the 30th.
All my fucking friends let me down. You know what I mean? So
nobody went through it with you?
No, everyone let me down. Not that I cared. I wasn't even going to do sober October. I was just I do these cleanses every once in a while where I'll just go a couple months, no booze, no weed, like nothing. I do
Smart.
It like,
it's a good move.
But I was like, all my friends like, I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to do it with you. And then no one that I set out to do it with, which I'm like, I don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
I was going to smoke a cigarette.
for you anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's exactly what it was.
yeah.
100%. I was going to smoke a cigarette last night. I had an issue with somebody, and I was like, and I was like, no, I'm not going to. I told myself no cigarettes, nothing bad. I'm like, I'm not going to drop this because of this fucking moron, you know? So if I could, I don't know about the Patriots season. I mean, listen, it wouldn't shock me if they win. It wouldn't shock me if they win comfortably. But I think the big thing is the quarterbacks here. It's like you pull Mac Jones for this kid. He comes out now, and Zappy looked like a backup afterwards. It's like, well, you got to. Yeah. Quarterback's such a mental game on top of the physical. You know what I mean? So
definitely the consistency there is, Thursday night football.